Hey, and welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. Janine here, your host. I am so delighted to have you join me today. Well, we are discussing loopity loopity loop today. Last week we were talking about feeling the feeling. Well, where do you keep feeling that feeling? Who are you with when you keep feeling that feeling? And what are you doing when you keep feeling the feeling? All of these will show us whether we are stuck in a karmic loop or whether we are choosing to step forward and step out. Because people, here is a sad fact. Well, I think it's a very good fact. Some people think it's a sad one. That tension is what helps us to create. Where there's chaos, we get to create. And our feelings around it either empower us to create effectively or keep us back and constrict us to stay in that same loop of disempowered action, of feeling stuck, of feeling frustrated. Now, I work a lot with people 40, 45 and up, because this is the time we begin to shift, to understand and to realize that what was working for us when we were 20 may not be viable for us in our 40s. And for those on a paycheck, we only have 480 paychecks in our life. And we would like to experience life, not just endure it. Well, I don't know about you, but that's my aim, is to experience, enjoy, and have fun in life, as well as making a difference. And when we can see that what we had is choosing to shift, to change, we can get to identify the tension. The tension that when we keep stepping back from it, we keep stepping back into the loop of disempowered ways and being and thinking. Whereas when we can choose to say, I see you, tension, I understand you are here for my highest of good. What do I do with you? How do I use you? And where do I grow with you? That we are able, through asking questions, through being open to infinite possibilities, we are able to step forward in a far more aligned way, a way that is far more creative and brings about new, rather than copying others, repeating patterns, and staying in that karmic energy of we sowed nonsense and now we're reaping the nonsense. We can actually step beyond that nonsense and step into loving, caring, kind, and expansive ways of making a difference in our life and in the lives of others. Well, Janine, how do we do this? Well, for me, what worked for me and what I help my clients with is we work with meditation. Now, before you throw your hands up in the air and you switch me off, hear me out. You can walk and meditate. You can run and meditate. You can swim and meditate. You can drive and meditate. Yes, there's very deep meditation when you're going to complete stillness of thought and feeling. And there's a meditative process that allows you to observe your thoughts without creating babies with them and with babies of frustration, fear, and anger. You just observe the thought. You do not interact with the thought. You choose to stay the observer rather than interacting with them. And so say like, you're driving and you start thinking, oh my goodness, this person's a bad driver, and then you go down that spiral and loopity loop of, oh, people are terrible and they can't do this and they can't do that, oh my goodness. And then you wind up getting where you're going, feeling devastatedly de-energized. Whereas you can say, oh, that's an interesting point of view, I have that point of view, let me come back to seeing and observing my thoughts, and let them get on with whatever they do. If they're driving recklessly, I just ask angels, please follow that person, keep them and everybody safe. And then we've done what we can do. We choose to stay within ourselves, within our parameters, and not create babies from the thought that we had around the person's driving skills. That's just a very small example. For me, another example was I was walking with my beautiful Labrador, and I saw the clouds and I saw the rain, and I went, oh, should I go home now? And I thought, you know what? I get wet. I've got towels at home, and I carried on walking. We had a thoroughly enjoyable time, taking in nature, the reflection of the light on the sea. and just observing what thoughts came forward, and came home completely dry, very happy, having had a great walk. Instead, I could have gone into fear and dread and the cycle of, well, if I get wet, my phone's going to get wet, and this, that, and the next thing, and how do I drive a dog, and all that nonsense. When we bring our presence into our present, we are then able to recognize where we're looping and what we can do with it. And where we just don't have to do anything with it except say, I see you, I feel you, thank you for being here, I release you. Because this, people, is what helps us create more. And it's in understanding that there's no wrong feeling or right feeling. There's no wrong loop or right loop. It's just a loop. It's just a feeling. It's just a thought. Where the challenge comes in is what we do with it. The expectations we place on it, the memories that it triggers, the ways of being, the bringing of responsibility. And mindset alchemy is when we take that thought, we take something different, like, oh, that's an interesting point of view, because that is the catalyst. And we just create, all right, well, we release them, we let them go, let me carry on driving, running, walking, and doing whatever I do. So we take what it is, we add the catalyst or the tool, and we create something better and more valuable. Or alternatively, you can create something that keeps you far more stuck, carry on looping, and just never get anywhere. And that is a phrase I hear from so many people that I work with. I just feel like I'm getting nowhere. Well, when you keep repeating that to yourself, that's what you're going to have. Whereas, and it's a very real feeling, and it's a very, in that instant, it may be their truth. It may not be a truth, and it may not be true. For them, it's a truth. Rather than saying, you know, I feel like I've been in the same place for so long. What else is possible? What am I not seeing that if I was able to see it, I would be able to move forward with far more ease? Now, there's a modality called access consciousness that helps us with questions, gets us to access the consciousness, access our consciousness, so that we can see, is this a loop? Isn't that a loop? I have also, just through working with energy, come to understand we can drive our energy down and we can bring our energy up. And once we hit those 40s, people, it's a true story that we get to look at, what am I doing here? Is it serving me? Is it not serving me? What else is possible in my life that I can have ongoing income? I can have a wonderful relationship. I can work with people. I am very blessed to be able to support friends, family, and my clients. And when I'm working with them, I will very often be shown, oh, this is the reason I went through that experience, that I'm able to help them with this, that, or the next thing. Alternatively, I'm always open to learning from everyone. And when we are open to learning from everyone and everything, it is just incredible what happens in our life and how we co-create, we create more, and we allow for expansion in our life. We can expand our income, we get to expand where we're going, we get to choose what it is we would love to do. And it's just very powerful. Let's go back to the tension. When we notice the tension and we ask it, okay, I see you, I understand. What am I being asked to release? What am I being asked to build upon? And what is the better question here to ask, so that I can allow the tension and the chaos to help me create far more effectively, something that feels better, something that just is much, much more empowering, rather than taking my power away. And by doing this, we actually bring our power back to ourselves. And people, it just really feels so much better. If you know of anyone who's feeling stuck, please ask them to reach out to me, and maybe they'd be interested in one of my karmic healing sessions, karmic energy healing sessions, because these help us to recognize the stuckness, recognize the thinking that's keeping us there, and move beyond it. In the meantime, pick up your pen and journal. Allow yourself to spend that little bit of time contemplating and in stillness as you meditate, simply observing your thoughts without doing anything about them, and again journaling. Get into grounding your energy through water, through getting your feet in the soil. Do a bit of gardening, go swimming, whatever's aligned. Go and stand under the shower and just feel yourself reconnecting with yourself. Earthing is slightly different. Here, grounding we can do anywhere. Earthing is slightly different. You have to be in touch with the water, the ground, something to do with the earth. It doesn't matter. Do both. It works. Alternatively, and definitely, be very aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and remember to ask, whose is this? What is this? Is this mine? I release everything that belongs to another person, place, situation, or thing. Feel the lightness and the ease come into your body and allow yourself to be and allow yourself to become empowered and more of who you can be. Have a beautiful day. See you around. Bye-bye.